Well, the Bill Pullman played the president, and he also was a pilot and donned his, Air Force flight suit. Well, for that matter, so did Bush, but he didn't really fly the plane. All he did was he was like a co-pilot in quotes. The actual pilot flew the plane.
Well, no,
when they unveiled that mission accomplished.
No, a co-pilot flies. He has to.
Well, no, but Bush was in the Air Force Reserves, but I don't think he did any flying at all. His father, on the other hand, became the youngest pilot in World War II. He was a pilot 1 month before his 19th birthday. He got his wings, so technically he was 18 years old.
Yeah, that's young. But listen, I have to, but I'll tell you, I really have to admire King Abdullah for what he's doing. I think he's a Harvard educator.
So many of them went to schools here. Whether it was Ivy League.
He might be English. He might
well,
be.
It would either be, like Cambridge, Oxford.
He's very well educated, very well spoken.
Just like us.
Yeah, he's married to an American woman, an actress.
She was,
And the people of the country love him. And they respect him.
I'd like to love her.
Exactly. So it's a good thing, So, it shows that in a country like that, a monarchy, a unitarian government, a lot of times is the way to go. I mean,
then you have Monaco.
Yeah.
Princess Grace, when she was alive, was an actress, a very popular actress. Married Albert. Now, it's a principality, which means they don't have a king. The highest that they have is a prince, and he takes an active role in the government of that country.
Yeah. But, when you think about it, before Bush interrupted the world by attacking
the wrong country.
Yeah, by attacking Iraq. Iraq was basically a stable country. May have been some.
Well, you see, that was the problem during the Arab Spring. Yes, Mubarak. Hosni Mubarak was a dictator, but he was a dictator that offered stability in Egypt, just like Hussein, who also committed atrocities. Let's face it, that's what he was hanged for, But
he also kept
he kept the country in check,
Libya,
and the same thing with Gaddafi. As you say what you want about Gaddafi, but he kept his people in check. Now, granted, they committed many atrocities and killed many people, but
I don't think he was as bad. He was just crazy. They said he had gonorrhea and it got to his brain. That was the rumors about him. So he was a little nutty.
Well, I don't know. Al Capone had gonorrhea too. I don't know if it got to him, but
well, they said it got to him, but also he was harmless. Everybody knew that he was basically harmless.
No, guys like that in power were not harm. I mean, look, he could lift a finger and somebody dies, so he's not harmless.
Harmless to us.
To us.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
To us, yes. See, he was still. They were all still, with the exception of Mubarak, they were all still threats to Israel. Okay, but
well, he really had no power because he had no real army. So forget he was. He had enough army to keep his people quiet. That's all. I mean, once we put our nose into the whole.
Well, and what America has to learn also is if we're going to put our nose in somebody else's business, and you're going to bring, like Bush said, bring democracy to countries in the Middle East, because everybody should have a chance to be a democratic government. First of all, not every country thrives in a democracy. That's number one. Not all the people know how to handle a democracy. That's number two. And when you have people voting like they did in Iraq, one person, one vote, and they show you their thumb, which is purple because they just finished voting, they may not vote the way you want them to vote. They may be voting a government in that might be, anti-America.
That's what happened in Egypt.
I know.
And what did they do? The army took over and things were stable again.
And then
it became a Unitarian state again.
Well, they're not exactly stable, but still, and then you have...
Stable than it was before that. And it's not relatively stable.
Well, you have Al-Sisi is in Egypt now, okay, I believe. And...
You mean the puppet?
Well,
he's the general. Is he a general or the general's puppet? I'm not sure.
It's very possible.
Yeah,
I find it hard enough keeping up with our own government. If you want to know the truth,
but at least it's a semi-democracy, whatever you want to call it. But they had to have another revolution to get rid of the person that they voted in.
Well, yeah.
I mean, so
but then okay. Then you have, the rise of ISIS was because, in Iraq, the person who they elected, instead of having setting up a bipartisan government, he totally ignored the Baathists, and I think it was...
the Shia, not the Shias, the Sunnis.
The Sunnis.
Yeah.
Okay, so these people felt, they were not being represented, and that was the start, really, a few years ago of ISIS. Even though they've really been in power and in the news over the last year, this is something that's been going on for a couple of years.
But when you think about it, the Sunnis, most Sunnis and Shiites in Iraq. So I don't see how a Shia won over the Sunnis in an election originally.
Well, that's what they said. That ordinarily it would be the other way around because the Sunnis have the majority.
Yep. So I don't quite understand what happened. It looks like the only ones that are actually acting civilized are the Kurds.
Well, the Kurds have always been an ally.
Yeah.
Problem is that there are too few of them, and according to the American advisors that are still there, they have not been given, you and I discussed this, they have not been given the authority to release any more weapons or updated weapons to enable the Kurds to continue the fight on their own.
And Jordan wants more weapons too, so they can go and move on.
Well, if giving them more weapons means the possibility of American boots on the ground is less and less, why not? I mean, let's face it, all it is earmarking money to produce. Most of the weapons we give them are weapons we're not using anymore anyway.
Yeah, we can give them all our surplus and they'll be happy.
That's what happened. That's what happened in World War II. Before America got into the war, we were giving the British and the Allies in Europe, equipment that we no longer were using. So it really didn't make a difference.
Plus, Jordan is not a hostile entity as far as Israel is concerned.
Right.
I think they signed a peace agreement or didn't. I'm not sure, but their border is peaceful.
Even Egypt, even though they have the peace, the Camp David peace accord is still being honored and everything. Even with the Arab Spring, I don't think they, are much of a threat to Israel either.
No, not at all.
The big threat to Israel, let's face it, is Iran, Iraq and Syria.
Well, it used to be Syria. Now, Syria is really not, at this moment, Syria is not a threat.
Syria is worried about keeping itself together.
Yeah, Syria is
as
not
a country.
Threat
you know,
But the problem is, whoever comes out the winner is going to be a threat to Israel. If it's ISIS, it's going to be a bigger threat to Israel. If it's the old Syrian government somehow wins,
it'll go back to the way it was.
Yeah, they'll go back, so they won't be as much of a threat.
And I don't even know which rebel Syrian force the United States is even backing. We don't even know. We don't know who. Right now, for lack of anybody else, we're sort of backing, what's his face? Bashar al-Assad. Okay? We're backing him because it's the enemy as opposed to the unknown enemy.
We're not backing him, we're just not bombing him.
Well, yeah.
Because he's we can't really bomb him, probably because he's still the legitimate leader of the country. Bombing him would be declaring war against Syria.
We were hoping he would step down, but he didn't step down.
So I really don't think we can do much with him.
No.
Listen, what we're doing is going around. Do you hate Assad? Do you hate ISIS? Yes. Here's some guns.
That's right.
We don't care who you are. If you hate those two guys, here's guns.
Obviously, we are straying very far from is America true democracy, but I think within the first 15 minutes or so of the show, we sort of answered that.
Well, the first thing is this show is, like we always said, it's politics, news. And we're talking about politics and news. We spoke about democracy. We explained what it is. There isn't much to say after that.
Not unless somebody calls up, and nobody has. So, we're doing the next best thing. We are discussing global news,
exactly.
World news.
Now, I told you last time, some people are analyzing Putin, say that he may have Asperger's, which is interesting. So I've been watching him now when he does an interview with somebody.
And I bet he doesn't look at you at all.
Never
Does he make eye contact with you?
No, but I was trying to see where he's looking the whole time while he's talking. And 80% he's staring at something. Then he'll look at the speaker that he's talking to. Then he'll go off him and again.
Well, I think he was checking out Angela Merkel's ankles, I think,
I don't know what he was doing, but it seems like that's the way, he is. But the guy that's
like you like to bring out, though, 85% of the country loves him.
They do. And that's I like to bring it up or not. It's just a fact, They have but I don't think a guy riding around bare-chested on a horse with a gun has probably got Asperger's. Doesn't seem like that seems pretty outgoing to be doing that. And imagine when he's hunting and a deer looks in his eyes, he'll have to move his eyes over and miss the deer.
It's true.
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put on a song.
Oh, that works for me. We need a break.
We need a break because we're looking for coffee. So
everything.
No, that's a religious song.
That's a religious song. Yes, I know.
Everything is religious.
You know what we haven't heard in a while? Your favorite song.
Oh, Roadkill Blues.
Yeah, we're talking about killing. What the heck?
How about the Warrior song?
No, you just played that a couple of weeks ago.
I know.
That 2-3 weeks ago on a Monday for your brother and sister-in-law.
Exactly. All right, we're going to play a little bit of Roadkill Blues.
And as reserved as your sister-in-law was, she loved it.
I know. Well, we go make ourselves some fresh coffee. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Roadkill Blues.
Ready for another cup?
There's a raccoon on my shoulder, ain't going anywhere. pipes and wear and tire tracks. A dead skunk fills the air. There's a piece of something over here, the rest is over there. I'm about to lose